Hey everyone, it's Craig. Just a quick heads up before we get into this episode with the Wrestling Geezer. Apologies for any reverb coming from my side. Technical issues. Honestly, my fault. Forgot I had Bluetooth switched on as well as plugged into the AUX. So it's a bit echoey. I've done it to fix it best I can, but it's still a bit of an echo. So I apologize for that in advance. And the next one will be a lot better. But hope you enjoy it. And yeah, up for the episode.
You know me, it's your boy Craig, aka the MIC. Finally back here on your favorite wrestling channel. This is Calling the Spots. And it's a very special edition of Calling the Spots, because not only are we back, but this is a project I've been wanting to do for a long time now, and finally we're getting it underway. This it's a special thing for me because, as I said, I'm trying to do it for a while, but it never really got going. So this is Calling the Spots. No idea what it's going to be called yet. I've been thinking of it for years, but haven't thought of a name. But this is basically wrestling fans coming on, wrestlers, wrestling fans coming on, and we discuss how important mental health is, and how important wrestling has been with our mental health as content creators, as wrestling fans, and as wrestlers in some cases. So, I guess without further ado, the very first guest here on this special episode of Calling the Spots, it is the special guest himself. It's the one, the only, Dan, aka the Wrestling Geezer. What is good, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be the first guest on your new setup, and obviously with this new project you're going into. So I really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, the fact you wanted to come on is incredible because, like I said, this is something that I'd say for about 5 years I've been trying to get over the line.
Yeah.
Things kept happening, life kept getting in the way. So I appreciate the fact that you're here and willing to take part and open up about mental health, because I know it's not easy. I've only recently myself have found myself able to talk about it openly, post about it. So it's been a interesting few months, and I thought, why not come back with a bang and talk about something that is important on multiple levels.
I mean, first of all, got to say, sort of well done for being brave enough to talk about your experiences on a platform like this, because I mean, I'm a lot older than you. I'm 39, and I didn't get help with my mental health till much older in life. And I think if people can talk about it on platforms like this, it gets out to different people, different age groups. It will help people, but also more to the point, it's brave of you to step up and talk about your experiences, because no matter what you've been through, people are going through that as we speak, will go through that in the future. So, sometimes it isn't, like you said, it ain't easy to talk about it, but they maybe listen to this podcast and it might make them feel a bit more normal, if you like.
Yeah. It's a very important thing, because, like I said, I guess it's a cliche that people pop out on for their token mental health month post, but it's something personally I live by, is that you're not alone, and there are other people going through the same thing. So and especially, I've only recently realized in the last 3, maybe 5 years, and that's a big gap, but mental health amongst wrestling fans and wrestlers has become quite a topic. Remember during just after the pandemic, the Tag Me In Foundation, the Hot Tag Foundation, when they had a big drive for mental health amongst wrestling community. So, which kind of inspired me to want to talk about it a bit more. And there's so many wrestlers who have unfortunately lost their battle with mental health, and so many wrestling fans, people in general. But also the wrestlers get highlighted because they have a profile. There's so many who have just struggled through all of this, all the problems they've been going through without really speaking up, especially coming through the wrestling world where you couldn't really talk about it that much.
Yeah, I mean, the stigma in life in general is bad enough for men. I'm not just focusing on men's mental health here, but obviously, when you look at it, the statistics are more men commit suicide than women. And obviously, wrestling is a male-dominated sport, it always has been. So that is, it goes hand in hand, doesn't it? But also, it's a testosterone-filled macho sport as well. So it's going to be even harder, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. That's why these kind of discussions are important, and I hope ultimately with these shows and people talking about it, people realize that they're not alone with it and can just
Yeah. I mean,
enjoy wrestling.
I'll be honest with you, straight off the bat, I will be open to talk about whatever you want to ask me, anything you want to discuss. Um, I went through a stage of being embarrassed about my mental health situation, but now I live with it daily, and I am not embarrassed by it because it's part of who I am. So there's nothing, that I'm not willing to talk about. If there's certain things you want to, you want to ask, you want to discuss, medications, therapies, whatever, I'm open to discuss it. I respect you. I respect you as a content creator, and more importantly, I respect you as a person. So I'm happy to talk about whatever you want, mate.
No, I appreciate that. I'm glad you're in a place where you can discuss it openly as well, because like I said, there's a stigma. Maybe not as much now, but there still is.
Yeah.
So the fact people are just willing to talk about it and just have an open conversation about it, because it's not going anywhere. You don't
No.
you don't get better. You just learn to deal with it.
Yeah, you learn to live with it, mate.
Yeah. So it's part of everyone's day-to-day life. Or most people's day-to-day life. So why are we not talking about this more openly when there's the internet to put out?
Yeah, but I think that could be part of the problem, mate. The internet is a fucking, hostile place at times, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not adverse to telling someone to go fuck himself if they said the wrong thing in respect to if I posted about mental health or post in general. But other people aren't of that sort of nature, so they will probably take it personally, and then the internet becomes a bad place for them, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. It's not ideal. It's not
No,
ideal.
no, not
But
at all.
so I guess to start off light before we get into
Yep.
proper stuff.
Yep.
How did you first become a wrestling fan? Like, what was the first thing you saw of wrestling where you thought, oh, I like this, I want to watch this more and more?
I remember watching WCW when I was young. It was on ITV, so this is an indication to how old I am. It used to be on ITV of a Saturday. It used to be on before the football results come in. So you always knew it was going to be finishing up at like 4:45, 20:05, because that's when the football matches are finished or were finishing up, sort of thing. But that's my first real memory. Sting, obviously, is my all-time hero, and that's the main thing I remember: the face paint, the blue, the blue ring, just those sort of things, man.
Yeah. See, I only found out recently that my family were WCW watchers in the Attitude Era, purely
Okay.
because it was on ITV, I think. But I was always convinced that they were WF during the Attitude Era. But I
Are you talking about when Raw used to be on a Friday night on Sky Sports?
perhaps, because full disclosure, I mean, when the Monday Night Wars ended. I was
Yeah.
maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, I mean, you're a young buck still, aren't you? But because what it was back in the day, you had Monday Night Raw wasn't actually on in the UK until Friday night on Sky Sports. But what you had before that is there was a TV channel called Cartoon Network, which at 7 o'clock on a Friday night switched over to TNT, which TNT is the station that owned WCW. So you could actually watch Monday Nitro at 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock. Then at 10 p.m., Monday Night Raw come on Sky Sports. So you could actually watch the Monday Night Wars a week late, but you could still watch them, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, for me, wrestling came about through a family.
Yeah.
Like, Sunday mornings, 8 o'clock, Sky One highlights of SmackDown. Like that's my introduction to it. Like,
Yeah.
the first thing I remember seeing was Mini Angle tapping out Kurt Angle just as John Cena. That was really my introduction to wrestling. Like, oh, okay, this is crazy.
But if that got you hooked, it doesn't matter, does it?
Exactly that. So, did you just come across wrestling, or how did you first go? Was it a family thing, or?
I don't know. I mean, I mean, my little brother enjoyed wrestling when we was growing up, but I don't think any. I mean, my dad used to watch World of Sport and stuff, but that was long before I was around. But yeah, I think it was just one of them things at the time. I used to like Ninja Turtles. I think I was just one of them kids that just liked everything, and I think I had wrestling figures, and then it just sort of went from there. But I don't really remember anyone saying, "Oh, this is wrestling," kind of thing. But I do remember specifically, it was always Saturday. It was always before the football. And then a little bit later on in time, my grandparents got Sky. So then I was at all cable as it was at the time. So then I got to see a bit of WWF as it was then. And it just snowballed, man. I mean, as I said, I'm 40 this year, and you can see from behind me, it looks like I live in fucking Smith's Toy Shop.
I think most wrestling fans are like that now, and it's
Yeah.
again that's another thing that gets picked up on by people who don't really understand wrestling that much. Even some fans, to be fair, are like, "Oh, why are you buying belts for? Why are you buying belts for? Nah, why are you buying toys for? Nah, it's memories."
Yeah, I mean, for me personally as well, it's one of them things. Listen, I, as a child, never went without. My parents weren't well off, but I never fucking went without. Birthday, Christmas, which ironically for me is the same day. Me and my brother never went without. We had all of the wrestling figures. We had all of the ring. We had everything. Fuck knows how my parents afforded it, but they fucking did. So, I can't, it's not even a case of I didn't have it when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But I think it's now where I'm an adult and I've got a good job and I can buy these things, and it's like reliving my youth, like there's things here that I've bought recently that I had when I was, I was a fucking child. I bought the WCW Nitro ring and arena the other day because I had that, and I've actually still got a photograph of me and my brother playing with it as children.
Yeah.
So there's certain things I buy purely for nostalgia, because I had it as a kid and I remember how much joy it brought me when I was younger.
Yeah. I think with wrestling, if you get into it young, most of the time you stick with it and you just love it because it just happy memories of just like, I don't know what this thing is, but I'm obsessed with it. I don't know the truth behind it yet.
Yeah.
I'm just these huge characters.
Yeah. It's an escape from reality, Craig, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's an escape from reality. I mean, when I sort of try and break it down now as an adult, I think I fell in love with it so much because as a child I wasn't so I was unpopular, but I was definitely bullied all throughout my life. And I think for me, wrestling, one was an escape from reality, but also the good guy always ended up winning. Now, I know wrestling's not like that anymore because it's evolved and the good guy and the bad guy win sometimes, whatever. But ultimately, back then as a child, the good guy always won. Hulk Hogan always won. Sting always won. The Ultimate Warrior always won. All of the good guys always come out on top. They didn't cheat. They wasn't arseholes, and I think that's what, for me as a kid, probably as someone who was picked on and stuff like that, is probably what drew me to it because I always I suppose, live by good morals and try to be a good person. So ultimately, in my brain, it was like, well, if they can do it, I can do it, which is a load of bollocks. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that is probably, as a child, that's where it come from and where it stemmed from.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can relate to that heavily. A big reason I'm such a huge TNA fan is because TNA for the longest time was the island of misfit toys. Like people who didn't seem to want to belong in on the big companies, who had a strange characters or whatever, that never really hit the mark in other companies, come to TNA and will flourish. I mean, there's so many I can think of from and now my mind goes blank. Big Bill.
Anyone that's been down on their luck ended up on TNA. You think back to X-Pac, a bit further back, Scott Hall wound up there. Macho Man wound up there.
Yeah.
A lot of people that had a lot of demons in their life ended up on TNA. Now, I'm not saying that's because TNA was a safe haven for people with fucking addiction problems and mental health problems, but I do agree with you that you can relate to those guys. They were more relatable because they had real life problems.
Yeah. Jake Roberts came through TNA at one point, and not the most stable part of his life, but it's TNA seemed to give them opportunities, and which is why I related to, which is why I related to it. Like, so like, and so now I guess to what's this name? See, I had a bit planned and my brain fog because of the meta mon.
Sorry, it's probably me waffling on, mate. I put you off your stride, don't I?
Can't think of his name.
Wrestler, booker, promoter.
Wrestler, coach now. I know his first name, Lance.
Lance Storm.
Lance Storm, yeah. See, I had a segue planned, but keeping it real, brain fog because of the meds.
It's all good. It's all good.
So keeping that in, but to get it back on track, to quote Lance Storm, if I can be serious for a minute. Now, segue. A little segue for you. I suppose, when did you start realizing that mental health was kind of starting to impact you in a negative way?
If I'm honest, in hindsight, probably the early part of my teenage years, so the start of secondary school. I only really got help probably within the last decade.
Right.
So there's two different questions there. In hindsight, I knew there was something wrong way back then when I was 15, 16, start of year 9, secondary school, that kind of thing. But I only really got help probably 10 years ago. And when I say help, I mean proper help, admitted I needed help, and went through the proper channels to, get better, if you like, or try to get better.
That's genuinely amazing, because a lot of people don't want to go and get help. So the fact that you realized that I need help and went and found the help, that's just, that's incredible. It's just,
but I'll be honest, that was the second or third time that I tried to get help, because the way it worked out was I knew that I wasn't well. I knew that something wasn't right, but I didn't want to admit that nothing was wrong. But I was still taking the antidepressants. I was still doing the stuff, but I was ticking boxes, man. I'd go to therapy sessions. I knew what they was going to ask me. I'd sail through it. I was fucking spiraling, man. From the outside, I look like how I look now, probably. But internally, I was on fire. And the day that it came, I literally went to work. At the time I worked in Romford. I lived in a place called Hockley, so it's about 45 minutes away on a train. Got up, got on the train, went to work, literally stood outside the building, couldn't go in, text my boss, text the managing director. I was like, look, guys, this might be it, kind of thing. Turned my phone off, went home to my mum's, knocked on the door. She opened the door. She was like, "You're not well, are you?" I was like, nah. That was it. We went straight to the hospital. And that was, the first step in actual recovery, if you like.
Yeah. No, Yeah, I think most people, when they discuss their mental health, have that moment where they realize, oh shit, I better do something now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for me, I realized when I was 16.
Yeah.
Like, it was, I don't, it's, looking back on it, it feels like, how did that start to get me to here? Because I should have just moved on from it, but something in my brain wasn't there and started to spiral, focus on this one thing,
Yeah.
which ultimately was because I had a crush on a girl in college, didn't like me back, and I started overthinking it and spiraled.
Yeah.
So then I decided, okay, maybe I should go to doctors here. And then they put me on antidepressants. I was 16 on antidepressants, like, it's not great.
Yeah. But then
But
that's also down to the healthcare people as well, mate, because should a 16-year-old just be put on antidepressants?
I know it's slightly different in the States or in other places, but the experience of mental health here is now they focus on uh, the youth mental health, which is it should be it should be a priority.
Yeah.
But at
Agreed.
the same time, uh, so I'm in my 6th year of waiting for counselling.
Okay.
So which is it's only, and I'm kind of only just starting it now because of the self
Okay.
referrals, which just don't get read
No.
because I mean the NHS in this country is a godsend. Thank goodness for the NHS, but it's
Yeah.
not without its flaws. It's,
Yeah.
particularly when it comes to the mental health side of stuff.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I do agree with that. I mean, it's overstretched, man. Like, it's, the NHS is fucked, isn't it? Let's be honest. But
Yeah,
they, I mean, I was fortunate because where my mum lived is a different borough to the London boroughs. So
right.
they've got an actual mental health hospital about 15 minutes from my mum's house. So I was actually very, very fortunate that their mental health service was fucking bang on, because if I'd have gone to the one where I was living or where I moved to after I left my mum's, I'd probably be like yourself and still on a waiting list.
Yeah, it's it's definitely not ideal. I mean, so again, full disclosure here. Today I was actually diagnosed with insomnia,
Okay.
and the doctor seems to believe it's could be due to ADHD,
Yeah. Which is a
which
common side effect of ADHD is problem sleeping, right?
yeah. And when I was told that, I thought, nah, it's bollocks. There's no way. I guess I don't want to. I always had problems at school, always.
Yeah.
I I thought it's because I didn't like it,
Hmm.
but when I went to college, I enjoyed it because it was more focused on smaller classes and
Yeah.
more individual
More
stuff. So
hands on.
yeah, so maybe there's a part of it that is, but it's. So I got sent a questionnaire today of for relate to it or whatever,
Yeah.
and I was expecting to just put no to a lot of these things.
Yeah. Which is the easy option.
Yeah, but I I mean, I got through the first 6 questions of a 20 question questionnaire,
Yeah.
and I clicked very often on every single one. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh crap, here we go.
Yeah.
So and it's gonna be what it is. Like I can't control it, but again, it almost feels like is there. So I was told if I get this diagnosis and it could if I get diagnosed as ADHD,
Yeah.
then the NHS can't help me because of my age. I've got to go
Okay.
private to get the full diagnosis, get the medication if that's the point I get to.
Yeah.
And I always feel like how is this just being found out now? I went to now I've been to doctors as a kid for lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Like, but it was what 2017,
Yep.
which is crazy to think about. That it wasn't really that long ago, but
Well, it's nearly
in
10
terms,
years, mate.
ugh,
You say
yeah,
that. It's nearly 10 years,
yeah,
bruv.
okay, oof, yeah. It's like things have changed, but also things haven't. Things have stayed the same a bit too much.
Yeah.
So I guess like, so when you so is it kind of, what was your diagnosis? Like what were you
Um,
diagnosed with?
to be honest with yourself, it's a bit of everything. But the main things I suffer with on a day-to-day basis, and even now, I have psychosis. So I hear voices, unlike Randy Orton, they're actually real ones.
Yeah,
I see things that aren't there. And that's all the time. Like I'm constantly hearing noises now, voices, but the difference is at times they get too loud and I can't cope. At other times I can just blank it out. It's almost a bit like having tinnitus.
yeah,
It's just constantly there, constantly there. But obviously I've learned to I'm very highly functioning. You know,
yeah,
I do, a stressful job for a living. I do, stuff like this. So I have learned to cope with it, but there is times when it is too much and I can't cope with it. But it's at times like that when I have to use my coping mechanisms that I've learned over the years. There's certain things I have to do:
yeah,
listen to podcasts, watch wrestling, whatever it may be, just to keep myself distracted. And I know it will pass. And I've often likened mental health, sort of times, if you like, with surfing.
yeah,
It's the same as surfing. Some days you'll stay on the board all the time. There'll be days when you wobble. There'll be days when you land in the water head first. But the main thing is you've got to fucking get back up and get back on the board.
yeah,
That is it. And then, listen, I make it sound simple, and I'm not saying it's simple. There is days when I fucking, I don't even want to get out of fucking bed.
yeah,
So I'm not sitting here going, it's as easy as that, because it ain't fucking easy. I would never say it's easy, but it's doable. You've just
yeah,
got to sometimes pivot, change your mindset a little bit to it. I mean, I was never open to therapy. I was never open to medication. I was never open to talking about things, emotions, all of that. It was a load of bollocks, but it isn't. It's life saving,
yeah,
and I'm at a point now where I don't have to take medication every day. I can take medication when I feel like I need to take medication.
yeah,
So things do change. I was at one point where I was taking 4, 5, 6 tablets a day, every day. But things do get better if you follow. You've got to trust the process, and that's the main thing I've learned over this is if you don't want to invest in it, you ain't fucking going to get better.
yeah,
That's just a fact. You need to not want to get better. That's the wrong term because we don't get better. We learn to live with it. But unless you want a better standard of life,
yeah,
you're not going to get there unless you change your mindset to it. And now, listen, again, I make it sound easy. It ain't fucking easy. I could go to therapy sessions and I know what questions they're going to ask me. Do you feel suicidal? Well, obviously, I'm going to say no. Have you felt down this week? Obviously, I'm going to say no. How are you feeling? All of them things you can preempt it. It's only when you turn around and go, no, I'm not all right. I do want to fucking kill myself. No, I don't fucking feel good. I'm having these weird thoughts. I feel like this. I feel like that. It's only when you finally say it out loud that you can start to get help and
yeah.
get on the right road.
Yeah, admit it to yourself is a huge step, and then
Yeah,
next step is
100%.
telling someone else. Yeah, it's all about just little steps to keep moving forward to make sure you can have a good quality of life and how
Yeah,
make sure you can focus on what's important and
yeah,
not the things saying you that's not important, so just ignore that. Or
yeah,
that's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Ignore that.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
so I
I
appreciate you
do.
being.
No, I mean, I do think there's a lot of stuff in the the manuals and the guidebooks and the therapy sessions that I don't relate to. Like, I once had a therapist tell me that when I hear voices, I should shout at them and tell them to go away, which is a fucking load of nonsense, in my opinion. I've never done it. It's fucking stupid. But the one thing I did take away from therapy, and I do think it's a very good thing and it does work, is the 5 by 5 by 5 by 5 thing. So will it matter in 5 minutes? Will it matter in 5 hours? Will it matter in 5 days? Will it matter in 5 weeks? Will it matter in 5 months? That's a big thing that I try and live by, because it's easy to hang on to shit. Like you were saying about when you were 16, this is what's triggered your, what you're going through now.
Yes.
So obviously that's past trauma, you're dealing with that, etc. But what I would say to you now as someone who's been trying to live by this, if you like, the next time something like that happens, try and apply that 5 by 5 rule and see how it works.
Yes.
It might not work for you. At the end of the day, everything's different for different people, but that is something out of the lots of things I've learned in therapies and all that sort of stuff. That's one of the few things that I kind of think, I can apply that to my day-to-day life.
Yeah. No, it's I feel like it's something I have kind of been doing, but it's more of a I can't control this, so I can't worry about it too much. Because especially if you look what's going on in the fucking world today, like we can't control any of it. Let's just have a good time. Watch the world implode. There is nothing we can do about it. So just focus on what you can do and enjoy it.
Yeah. 100%, man. You got to take the small wins out of the day. It ain't about always having a good day. Sometimes it's just about when I was at the height of my mental health problems, I used to have to break the day down. So 9 o'clock start, because I worked all the way through this. Like I didn't let on for a second. I was fucking dying inside. I carried on working full time. So I had to break it down from 9 till 12, 12 till 2, 2 till 4, get through to 6 o'clock. Then I could fucking just capitulate.
Yes.
And that's how I did. And sometimes, I'm not saying capitulate at the end of the day is a good thing, but if you can break the day down into segments, it sometimes makes it easy because you're not looking at a full 12 hours in one hit,
Yeah. Compartmentalize and just figure out where everything's going to, not focus on what's ahead of you, not what's going to be right in front of you, not what's going to be further ahead when you can't control that. Just whatever's happening in this moment, it's a good way to just focus on that.
Because if you're worrying about something happening at hour 12, but something different happens at hour 8, well, hour 12 is going to be totally fucking different because of what happens at hour 8, isn't it?
Yeah.
And listen, again, I know I'm probably coming across as a condescending prick talking the way I am, but it's just because I'm talking from experience. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to, I'm maybe coming across blasé about it, but it's only because I've been there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm still there. I'm not even saying I fucking don't. I'm still doing it now.
Yeah. You need to do what you need to do. This is what helped me. May not help anyone else, but this is what helped me. It's everyone's I hate this word, but everyone's mental health journey is very different.
Of course,
but there are similarities in it, and if you can find something for what someone else has been doing to help you through it, then great. People should be, I guess, helping everyone get through the crap, because you never know what someone else is going through. And
exactly,
for instance, probably about 2 years ago, I had awful social anxiety, awful.
Yeah.
But I couldn't go into shops because I didn't want to get anything wrong. I went out, but head down and just go on going as fast as I can, get on, go and come and get back. Now, like I'm doing this. I'm inviting people I've only spoke to on social media to come do podcasts, to have conversation, to just talk about something we have in common.
Yeah,
being wrestling. And 3 weeks ago, I got a dog.
Okay.
And
best thing you could ever do, by the way. Getting a dog. I'm telling you now, my dog is part of the reason I'm still alive. And that is, I'm not just saying that because you bought a dog. I'm telling you now, there is a fair chance if my parents didn't get a dog when they did, you won't be fucking talking to me now. And that's me being 100% honest. I fucking promise you, I owe a lot of me being around still to that little bastard, because someone needed to walk it. Someone needed to look after it.
Yeah.
It's unconditional love, bruv. And I'm telling you now, it'll be the best fucking decision you ever made.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was this morning, it's about, cause I couldn't sleep, so I woke up about 6:30. I was just sat in bed, scrolling on my phone, seeing the shit that's going on, getting more and more anxious about it, getting more and more depressed about it. Then I
Yep.
realised, oh shit, dog needs feeding, dog needs walking. Up, go.
Yep.
And yeah, holding yourself accountable to someone else or something else.
Yeah.
That's a big part. You mentioned there about how your dogs has effectively saved your life. Me, that's my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
I've got 8 of them, and
Fuck.
the because again, this is all about full honesty. I've attempted suicide about 4 times.
Okay.
Thankfully, been unsuccessful, but
Yeah, thankfully. Yeah.
I've attempted 4 times, all the same way. And the one thing that stopped me from holding that pillow over my head any longer was thought of my niece and nephews finding out.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see that. I don't want them to feel that. That's shit. Because have like my oldest nephew is about to turn 18. Like I'm not gonna miss him. I'm not gonna miss seeing him turn 18 because something in my day went to shit.
Yeah.
So it's just
I agree with that, mate. I mean, I've always said that the main reason, I mean, obviously the dog is a big thing, but I couldn't do that. Now, obviously it's different now. I've got a fiance and I'm getting married. So there's other people for me to consider as well, but it's my mum.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I didn't want to be here anymore at times, and as much as life got too much, I couldn't do that to my mum, because ultimately, okay, I'll stop my suffering, but it would have effectively killed 2 of us, because she would never recover. And I know my mum. My mum would have blamed herself, and it's not my mum's fault.
Yeah.
It's not my dad's fault. It's not my brother's fault. It's just something it's an internal thing. And to this day, there's been times when same thing. I thought, fuck, I've had enough today, man. I'm done.
Yeah.
And the only thing that stopped me is the thought of knowing what it would do to my mum.
Yeah.
And listen, my dad would be fucking devastated. My little brother would be devastated, but it wouldn't hit anyone as badly as it had hit my mum, because I know she'd blame herself.
Yeah.
So I could never do it, and I totally get where you're coming from with the being, your nieces and their nephews. They look up to you, bro, and that's, you might not believe that, or you might not see that, but it's true. They do look up to you, and you're setting an example. So by you doing a podcast like this, it's more beneficial than you making a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's, listen, we've all been there, bro. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, I've not often, thought, fuck it, it's my time to step off the earth. But there's always a reason why not to. And you've got to hang on to that reason, because effectively, I would have killed myself, but I would have killed my mum. And if you do that, you're going to kill your nieces, your nephews, because they're going to be in this same position dealing with PTSD and trauma in 10 years' time, because they lost their Uncle Craig.
Yeah.
And it's easy for me to say that because, it's not easy for me to say that. It's fucking hard for me to say it, but you get where I'm coming from. It sounds like it's easy for me to say, but it's you're, what people forget when they're in the depths of mental health and depression and anxiety and stuff like that is they are loved.
Yeah.
As much as we might hate ourselves and not love ourselves, there are people out there that love the fucking bones of us. And mental health is very selfish because it doesn't give a fuck about anyone else other than you.
Yeah.
You know, it takes all the goodness and the enjoyment and the fun, and it blunts the edges of life, you know. And it's easy to sit here now in hindsight and go, yeah, you know, but it's like it's taking me back there now. Like it's
Yeah.
fucking horrible, man. But there's always, I'm not going to say always because I've lost friends that have have committed suicide and stuff like that. But there is reasons to stay alive, man. You know, there
Yeah.
is, and you've just got to find that reason to stay alive. You know, you've just got to find that reason to keep going, and
Yeah.
eventually it does get easier. You know.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's finding that one thing, mm, focus on that, and it's mental health is very selfish. It is, unfortunately, but if
It
you
does.
can
It
get
doesn't
yourself
care who
past
you
that,
are. Yeah.
no, it really
Yeah.
doesn't.
It's
It really doesn't. So that's
look
what
at
you
the
got.
people that lose their life to mental health, mate. Look at the guy, the lead singer of Linkin Park.
Yeah.
He was married to fucking Miss World. He was a multi-millionaire. He was in one of the biggest rock bands in the world. It doesn't matter. Mental health doesn't give a fuck about
No, it
social
doesn't matter.
status, bruv. It doesn't give a fuck about social status. Whether you're living in a cardboard box under a bridge or you're living in a fucking £5 million mansion, it's gonna get you. If it wants to get you, it's gonna fucking get you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
It's you said it perfectly. It's gonna get you, and no matter who you are, no matter how high you climb, no matter how it can knock your ass back down quick.
Yeah.
And
But it's how you deal with it, mate. That's the thing. The overall message for this podcast for me is it's all about opening up. It's all about talking, but also it's got to come from within as well, because it's how you react to these things.
Yeah.
You know, a bad day don't make a bad week.
No.
A bad week don't make a bad month. You know, it does. Yeah, it feels like the end of the fucking world when you're going through it, but you will get through it. Like you're sitting here now, you've survived all of your worst days. I have survived all of my worst days. We are both still fucking sitting here.
Yeah.
You know, and if I leave this earth with nothing else, if this podcast reached one person that's thinking of fucking doing something silly and they don't, then fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it's a win.
You know,
it's a big win.
it's a win.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like I said, it's just how you get back up, how you keep going back, how again, not too many cliches, but it's how you get back on that ladder and keep climbing. That's how you get back up again, and just feel, well, fuck you, I'm carrying on. I know who I am. I'm carrying on. I'm going to get to the top.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to do, man. Listen, it's easy to say that's what you got to do, but it is, because I think it was Einstein who said, if you always do it you've always done, you always get you've always got. It might not be Einstein. I sounded really intelligent then, didn't I, for a fucking second? But it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You know, and listen, mental health does feel like Groundhog Day, but there's things you can do. Like this is going to sound probably mental, excuse the phrase, but I make sure no matter what, I make my bed every single day.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing, no matter what I was going through, no matter how fucking depressed, suicidal, anxious, whatever I was, every single day I made sure I made my bed. So at least then I'd completed one thing a day.
Yeah.
And then you move on from that. So the next thing might be, listen, I don't know about you, but I always found when I was really suffering, when I was off work for a long period of time, showering was always a thing for me, because the water felt so heavy.
Yeah.
It felt like it was just hitting me, and it just felt heavy, and it's really hard to explain, but that's how it felt. It just felt like the water was dragging me down.
Yeah.
So like that was another thing, you know, so it's like, right, then you have a shower. Stuff like that, you know, and it's just day-to-day shit, man. Do you know what I mean? If you fucking brush your teeth today, thankfully that's not something I didn't ever do during my mental health times, but I know people that do. So you just got to celebrate the little wins. Yeah. If you had a shower today and you didn't have one yesterday, well, fucking hell, you're 1-0 up on yesterday, aren't you?
Yeah. yeah, I mean, uh, one of the things, like I said, the making the bed thing, 1000% behind that. I never used to make my bed. Now, you get up, first thing I do is make my bed, and if I go out of my day and I forgot to make my bed, I'll come in and make it as soon as I see it. Like, it could
Yeah,
be like,
same.
I could be going to bed in an hour, but I'm making my bed. I'm
Yeah.
not letting that slip by.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. I'm exactly the same, bruv. And it plays on my mind if I don't do it.
yeah, it's just little wins.
Yeah.
They stack up, and if you can, like I say, if you can get 1-0 up on what you did yesterday, you're golden.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's all it's got to be. It's got to be little wins. Little wins lead to big wins. That's
yeah,
that's how I look at it, And it's again, it's only from experience, man. You know what I mean? Like it's at the time it seems ridiculous. These are normal things that everyone does every day. But
yeah,
when you're in the depths of stuff, it ain't nothing's fucking normal.
no,
And that's how I would tell people to look at it. And it's, you said it earlier, you never know what someone's going through. Someone could be the most well put together, they could look the part on the outside, but internally they could be burning alive.
yeah,
So it all comes down to that. So you can't look at someone who's got their tie done up properly and their suit's freshly pressed and their shoes are shining, because that could just be a front.
yeah,
And it's the same, like when I say about, the reason I say that is because I just said normal things that normal people do: brush your teeth, have a shower, make your bed. Just because someone's fucking doing them things on a day to day also doesn't mean they're okay.
no. It's not.
This,
It's the little wins. It's little wins
yeah,
that they're counting,
100%, bro.
in their own head. No,
Yeah,
yeah. I appreciate you being so open there, because like I said, it it needs to be talked about. It just
yeah,
needs to be. So I really appreciate you opening up there. Um,
yeah,
so I guess to so I guess we can call it kind of a sandwich, if you like. Started off light, got deep in the middle, end on a light note.
yeah,
Wrestling, because that's literally how we met. It's literally why we're on this thing. It's
yeah,
all down to wrestling.
yeah,
You mentioned, like, when you got dark days, you go watch you watch wrestling. Do you have
yeah,
any comfort matches where you put on and you're not necessarily watching it properly, but you just put it on and you can just
yeah, yeah,
brain just
I do.
focuses off?
Rey
Yeah.
Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Halloween Havoc, which is
Oh,
also the match I tell people to watch as a non-wrestling fan. But that match for me, um, there's a few, man. There's a few different things that I like to go back and watch. I always like to go back and watch Triple H and Cactus Jack at the Royal Rumble.
Rumble
Undertaker,
2000.
Mankind, yeah,
Yeah.
Undertaker, Mankind, Hell in a Cell. The Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian, TLC, or Tables, whatever it was, the very first one.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's a few matches, man. But during when my mental health was really bad, I went back and watched every single episode of Monday Nitro because it was on Netflix at the time. And
Yeah.
that, again, is another thing I will say helped me through bad times. It was like things were getting too much, right? Nitro. And I watched every single episode that was on there from start to finish, every single episode. And I love WCW anyway, but that made me love it even more because I have a special connection with that now. So literally anything WCW, man. If I'm ever feeling a bit, if you ever come to my house and I don't know, you manage to break in and I don't know you're there and I'm just sitting there watching WCW, the chances are it's probably because I feel like I'm having a bit of a wobble, and I need something to level me back out.
Yeah. No,
You know,
it's it, wrestling is so special, and yeah, it's gone. It's a bit shit at the minute. If you this not that this isn't that podcast, but if you if you know what you like, and you can just go back and watch it, just to go back to how you felt when you first watched it, instead of focusing on how you're feeling in that moment. Yeah, that's like, again, if you can find that, just do that. If that's what you need, that's what you do. There's no right or wrong answers to how you get over that hump. If
No.
you wanna, you know, watch WCW, the old Nitro episodes, watch our Nitro episodes. If you wanna, so my little this escape is a podcast. Like, and my family know that if I'm watching or if there's a podcast, that's because it's a bad day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it all helps, and you just got to do what you've got to do.
Yeah,
So,
it's coping mechanisms, bro. I know this is a wrestling related podcast, but whether it's painting, fucking riding a bike, whatever it might be that keeps you on a level, just do it. Don't worry about what people think. I'm a fucking 40-year-old man that collects action figures and watches men fucking rolling around on each other in the nude, pretty much. I don't give a flying fuck, because stuff like that keeps me sane. You know, and the one thing I know, we're sort of coming to the end now, but one other thing I would always recommend to people as well is exercise. So I've taken every medication known to man. Some of them are great, some of them are fucking awful. At one point, I was taking one that made me feel like I was hungry, and then another one that made me feel like I was never full up. So lo and behold, I ended up putting on fucking loads of weight. So the one thing I would say is, I mean, at the minute I'm injured. I tore my Achilles last year. I can't really exercise properly anymore. But I was a distance runner. I was actually a pretty fucking good runner as well. I was pretty quick.
Nice.
And the one thing I will say, the hill I will die on with mental health, is exercise is better than any fucking medication you'll get over a counter or from a pharmacy or from a doctor, wherever you want to get it from. Get outside, touch some fucking grass, breathe in the fresh air, even if it's pissing down with rain. I promise you, you will feel better for it.
Yeah. I think that's the perfect place to end it. It's a perfect place. Appreciate you coming on, being the first guest, and willing to be so open and willing to just come on, just have a chat about real things.
I appreciate the opportunity. And if I have come across this, and if I have come across a bit blasé and a bit flash or whatever, it's not that. It's partly because it's I'm talking from experience, but also probably I'm still got my guard up a bit to stuff.
Yeah.
So if I have come across in a certain way, if anyone watches this and they think, oh, fucking, it ain't meant to be like that, it's just probably I'm still dealing with stuff. I'm still coping with things. I'm still learning to talk about things. So if it has come across in any sort of way, I apologise. And the only other thing I'd like to add is, if you are struggling, please just reach out, man. You don't even need to know me. You know what I mean? I'm only on TikTok. Drop me a DM. I'll happily chat to you. It's not a problem. You know, like, as I said, it don't have to be deep. It can be talking bollocks about fucking Pokemons, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just there. The option's there, man. Do you know what I mean? And also, the same's for you, bro. You know, I'm extremely proud of what you've done, what you're going through, how you're holding yourself together. But, you know, you ain't got to carry it all on your own. You know, you can reach out. People care about you, mate. People love you. So don't ever lose sight of that, yeah?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, I'd reiterate, DMs are open for anyone, including yourself, who just chat, have a rant, whatever we need to do. There's no route one to this thing.
No,
take whatever route you need to
not at
take
all.
and do what you need to do. So yeah, I appreciate you. Of course, mention there on TikTok at the Wrestling Geezer, Wrestling Geezer podcast on Spotify. Make sure you check that out. Do the whole thing. It's not what it's about, but if you want to like it and share it, well, please share it. So if you want to be part of this, if you want to come on and have a chat about just about wrestling, it hasn't got to get as deep as it does. Just drop me a message. I want you on. I want to talk to you. So come on over, let's have a chat.
And this being the first episode, you've set the bar very, very low, so it can only get better from here, mate.
Oh, yeah, right. On that, we'll jump off. I appreciate you all. Darren, appreciate it, mate. All as always, great chatting to you. And I'll catch you all on the next one. I am the MIC, and I will see you soon.